When deprived of humanity and dignity, people often lose their identity and become just another body in a mass of people. Our identities define who we are and make up what we truly stand for. Imagine living in a society where there are no altercations in the world, where everything about oneself mirrored one another. Imagine not being able to have a name nor anything that set you apart from any other person. Throughout Eli's journey, along with other Jews, his identity was stripped to the point where he became a number, and changes the way he thinks and need for survival. The Holocaust is always associated in the terms of a breathtaking terror of quantity. The Jewish people were robbed of their freedom and identity. The 6 million Jews in the Holocaust were no longer real people, but instead seen as objects. No longer could they hold the individual flavor that defined them. Their heads were shaved, and their forlorn clothes shadowed one another. Prisoners all appeared to be the same.
Sarah always has her music playing in hopes of becoming the new teen sensation. Catherine represents a varsity lacrosse star with dreams of playing at a Division I college. Rosemarie always puts school first with high aspirations to attend an Ivy League school. All of them are very different people with various identities. With the Holocaust and suppression, people similar to Sarah, Catherine, and Rosemarie were stripped of their individual identities. The Nazis took over, and they all became just like any other prisoner, with no social distinction. The gray uniforms symbolized people were no longer distinguishable from one another. Katie and Amanda, representing Nazis, carry Sarah's headphones, Catherine's lacrosse stick, and Rosemarie's calculator to show one way their identity was stolen.
We were told to roll up our sleeves and file past the table. The 3 veterans, prisoners, needles in hand, tattooed numbers on our left arm. I became A7713. From then on, I had no other name. Page 42. The Holocaust, people were not only lost their identity in mental state, but they also were changed as people in physical matters. The renaming of Jews as numbers is only one way their importance of identity was stolen. It was as though they were not considered important enough to deserve social distinctions from those around them.
Faster, faster, move, you lazy good-for-nothings. The Hungarian police were screaming. Page 19, Wiesel. Eli recalls his subjugators referring to Holocaust victims as good-for-nothing dogs. By calling Jews animals, suppressors lower the importance of Jews' identity. They are not respected enough to deserve the identity as humans. Not only did Jews lose their identity by being called such names, but they were also treated as animals, resulting in the formation of new human beings. These new human beings were still the same people on the outside, but underwent internal changes and lost their identity.
One day, when I was able to get up, I decided to look at myself in the mirror on the opposite wall. I had not seen myself since the ghetto. From the depths of the mirror, a corpse was contemplating me. The look in his eyes as he gazed at me has never left me.
There remained only a shape that looked like me. A dark flame had entered my soul and devoured it.
Someday my pain will mock you, harness your...
Eli is saying that because he had lost himself for so long during the Holocaust, he was not even given the privilege to look at himself in the mirror. He barely knew what he looked like in a physical sense. Not many people can connect to this exact loss of identity, but so many other people had given up what makes them unique, whether it was by choice or not. Once you lose your identity, you are never the same again, as Eli refers to himself as someone else. Once someone loses their identity, it is very hard to get back, especially for Eli, who cannot even come to terms with the man he has to stare at in the mirror.
Silence my game. Silence my game. Stars.
Experiencing tragedy, Eli changed so dramatically he did not even recognize himself as a person. Looking back, he realizes the consequences of the Holocaust and refers to himself as him. By talking in third person, it can be seen Eli no longer views himself as the same person, and his original identity has been stolen. Although he was strong enough to overcome the Holocaust, Eli underwent drastic changes that resulted in a new person still within the same body.
Can't you find a clue when your eyes are all painted Sinatra blue?
Eli Wiesel endured dramatic changes during the Holocaust that resulted in the formation of a new identity. He lost his faith in God, faith in his own survival, and changed as a person. From the beatings, starvation, to other physical and emotional tortures, the individuals would never be the same. By the end of his journey, Eli no longer recognizes himself, symbolizing the impacts the Holocaust had on one's true identity.